Hey, hey, hey. I bet you did not expect to see me. I have to tell you the truth, I did not expect to be here either. It was with a lot of encouragement and a lot of trial and error that I decided I'm just going to give it a go. I'm going to give it a go. And the reason that I'm doing that today is because it is November 4th. And in my family, it is a special day. It is a day of remembrance of our loved one, my brother in law, who passed away in 2017 on this day. Now, I have to tell you this morning, this was not on my mind when all these things happened. I Earlier today, I was doing some housework, and my mind started to get away from me, and I turned inward to the place of duality of awareness that we are never alone, we are always guided. And so I went from the I mentality of just being alone in my mind to the we. And I said, we need to change the channel because, that's what we do when we practice mindfulness and a mindset of gratitude. We notice when we're going into the weeds and we stop it and we turn around. And so I said, we need to change the channel. And immediately I thought of music, and I bounced that off my inner world. You do this stuff without thinking. It's very natural. But if you slow down enough to pay attention, this is what we do. So the thought of music came in my mind and I bounced it off. Do I want to do that or not? And I said, I don't want to listen to any music right now. I like being quiet. I like being in my head because over the years I've learned to not be alone. And so and then the next thing um, came through very joyfully. There is an intuitive exercise, a game where you can play with the spirit world or with somebody in the divine, and you can ask them to place something in your hand. And so I said, "Oh, I know." I said, "Let's play a game." And what I know now is that thought was not mine, but nonetheless, I thought it was. But you can tell because when it comes through with joy and excitement, sometimes, often, that is guidance coming in. And so immediately in my mind, I put out my hand, and right away I saw a peach. Now, if I were in my logical mind, if I were really trying to put things together and think about my past, I probably would have figured it out just with that alone from my personal history, but I did not. So I see the peach. I'm not yet certain that I didn't make it up. I'm not, 100% sure it came from the spirit world, but I know my training and I know to go with it. And so then you have to start wondering, well, why a peach and what does this mean? So the first thing that came to my mind was, am I being guided to eat more fruit? Well, I had a smoothie this morning. It had 4 different types of fruit in it. And I said, no, I bounced it off my internal, my center of, do I feel this is the message? Nope, didn't resonate. It didn't ping as a yes. Nope, it's not about the fruit. And then I thought, well, my new tennis shoes. I have some new tennis shoes on today and they're gray and peach. So I'm like, is it because of the shoes? No, no, that didn't feel right either. So then I thought, well, I'm getting ready to leave the house and go run errands. And what is tried and true is that what doesn't make sense now might make sense later. So I thought, well, maybe I'll run into something when I'm out running around. And so I decide to let it go. That's another key point here. You got to learn to let things go. So as soon as I let it go, I start hearing this song in my mind. And immediately I know what this song is, but I'm still kind of hard headed and I'm not realizing right away that this is a message from spirit. So the song is, I don't even know the name of the song exactly. There's lyrics about peaches for everybody, peaches for me, peaches for everyone. And it came through in my life several years ago when I was practicing mediumship. It was myself as a student. I was practicing with another student, and she was connecting to my brother-in-law, and who was in spirit, and he showed her a peach, and I didn't know anything about peach at the time, in regards to him and any significant meaning. And so, she was a student, and if I'm being completely honest, I probably dismissed that it meant anything, but she got some things that were pretty accurate. And I remember taking the information and that experience and taking it to my husband, who's his brother, and I took it to his wife. And I took it to them with at separate times, separate conversations. We were not all together. So it was just me and my husband, then it was me and my sister-in-law. And both of them came back with the same response. They understood the meaning of the peach, and it had to do with this song that was playing in my mind. So here I am earlier today. I see the peach in my hand. I get to hearing the song. I didn't put it together. I'm slow. I'm sorry. I'm slow. I'm not the best medium there is. And so then in my mind's eye, clear as day, I see the word almost like it's on a calendar. I see the word written out, November, comma, 4, the number 4, November 4. And then all of a sudden, everything came to fruition in my mind. And I went, oh my gosh, today is November 4th. Today is the anniversary of my brother in law's passing. And so he passed away 2017, November 4th. And so now all of a sudden it made sense. All these little signs coming around, the idea of let's play a game probably wasn't my idea at all. And the reason I say that is because the frequency that comes in is joy, it comes in as excitement. And I know because I've taken the time to practice and learn intuitive studies. And so I was debating sharing this before I left the house, and I couldn't get the video right. I couldn't get the angle. Everything, all the human stuff is coming in the way. And I said, this is not happening today. And I just left. And then I see the world a little differently now than a lot of people. I read a lot into signs. I can tell when spirit is having me see something. One of my teachers calls it a snag. Your eyes land on something and they will divert your attention to something. And so you practice this. I practiced this over the years when I was learning mediumship. And so you get familiar with the way the energy feels, with the way that they work with us to see things or do things or to have things happen. Not in an obtrusive way, always loving and guiding and for our highest good. And but it's all everything is us translating energy. It's all frequency. And so what it is it's a learned skill. You can actually practice this and you can learn it and get better at it. So it's been 6 years now, and what it's turned into is me being able to recognize guidance in my life. Because if you can feel spirit, if you can see them, and you can notice what they're catching your attention to, then you can pause and you can remember that this world is not all there is, that we're in a duality. And so we can get guidance in the moment as we're living our life. And then we also get these little wonderful gifts and surprises. And so when I was out driving, there is a sign, there's a number sign. If people have heard of angel numbers, do not dismiss angel numbers. The purpose of angel numbers is that spirit will show you what you need to see when you need to see it. And so the meaning, if you ever use angel numbers, I would only recommend this, that you use the same source every time so you can get to understand the message that is meant for you. I may retract that later, because spirit will, if you believe that spirit will show you what you need to see, and you understand that they can manipulate electronics, then you can just trust that you will see the message that's right for you. And if you bounce things off your internal guiding system, then you'll know if it's right or wrong. But in any case, they snagged my attention on a car going by that had a license plate 666. Now that is one for me 80% of the time on my journey over these last years. It's telling me I'm about to eat something I'm not supposed to eat. It's always been guiding me to a healthier way of eating. But the other meaning behind it is that there's something to rethink. You're not on the wrong path, but there's a better way. And so I had to pause in that moment and ask, why is that? Because I haven't been eating bad and I had no intention to. So I thought, this doesn't feel like it's about food. What is this about? And what came in with that high vibration feeling was when I remembered and had the thought about the video. And I thought, you're guiding me to do the video? Because I wasn't going to do it. And I know this seems really, this probably seems really drawn out to some people, but this is the war that we do inside our mind. Is it real? Is it not real? And trying to understand you're trying to connect with the guidance that's there for us. And so anyways, I said, I'm getting ready to get off the freeway. And I told Spirit, I said, bring it back to me. When I pull over on the side of the road, because I was picking up my son from school, I said, when I pull over, bring it to me then and let me know. And there's a tool that I use where we can get guidance from the spirit world. They can manipulate electronics very, very easily. I've seen it ever since I was a child. And it's happened time and time again in my life. I have dozens of examples. And so, anyways, there's an app where you can push a button and receive guidance. And so I asked him, I said, I'm going to use the app. And if there is a message in there in regards to whether I share this or not, then please bring it up. And so